Yes, it is. The founder of EMDR, Francine Shapiro, was passionate about researching this method. And there are many studies to back up its efficacy. I have evidence of many clients who are less sensitized to triggering memories and triggering places and events. So if you're coming in for an EMDR session, I highly recommend that you make sure that you don't need to use the restroom. If you're hungry, you've eaten a little something, make sure you're hydrated, because any of those states may detract from the process. And so, just make sure that you are, physically comfortable. Bilateral stimulation is mostly through eye movements and or tapping. And it simply feels what it feels when you do that. And sometimes clients get sleepy, a little bit sleepy when they're doing bilateral stimulation, but that typically is what you feel. No, actually, it's something you don't have to remember every detail of. In fact, there are memories pre-verbal sometimes that we can process. And so we are more focused on your belief about yourself, that something negative you started believing about yourself because of something that you've been through. And we focus on where you're feeling that in your body. And we do the bilateral stimulation, and then we're able to reprocess the memory, even if you don't want to talk about it. Yes, you can. You don't have to do any actual remembering as far as like talking about it out loud. You can just simply notice the memory in your mind, notice the feeling in your body, and notice the memory content, just for yourself. And as we do bilateral stimulation sets, I check in with you to see if something's changing or if you're overwhelmed, things of that nature. And we check in to see if your memory is getting resolved. Potential side effects are memories that might pop up seemingly out of nowhere in between sessions, random thoughts, maybe emotions that you'll feel, and it might seem like it's out of nowhere. But before we even begin the EMDR process, I teach you what's called the safe calm state and a resource development and installation. And we practice those for a couple of weeks before we start the reprocessing of a traumatic memory. And so you will be able to shift yourself out of that.